What's up? So I reached out to you guys and I asked you to vote on what your favorite progressive skin in Fortnite is. Progressive skins are basically your battle pass unlockable styled skins like Calamity, Lynx, Drift, etc. And you guys responded, which is going to let us today look at what the worst and best progressive skins are. Seeing as Season 9 has just been released, I think it's going to be very interesting to see where you guys rank these new skins amongst some of the GOATs. And the results may be a little bit surprising. Anyways, if you guys do want to get in on the next survey, just follow the top link in the description and let's do this. Also, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want, but no obligation. All right, so coming in at our number 15 spot, very well picked. This is going to be Lux. Lux got 820 votes, and I'm actually very surprised that this was hit so well. Now, I was expecting Lux to do very poorly, but I wasn't expecting her to do the very worst. That didn't sound very good. While Lux is certainly the most disappointing tier 100 skin, I was still expecting her to do better than last. And I would actually argue that just from an objective standpoint, without considering nostalgia or anything like that, I think she actually isn't the worst. With that being said, she's clearly not a great skin, and this is a very understandable choice. Now, coming in at number 14, we have the Prisoner with 1,210 votes. Now, I debated a little bit whether to put the Prisoner onto this list or not, as he isn't really one of your traditional Battle Pass skins, but I think he's still deserving of a spot on this list. You do need to have the Battle Pass to get him, and he actually does have 4 unlockable styles, which are not done in, again, your traditional sort of way. But he is still a progressive skin, so he's gonna make the list. So I think that the Prisoner is actually a very good skin, and from this list, I would say underrated. I think the reason the Prisoner didn't do so well is he's not really seen as one of your classic progressive skins, and he is obviously dealing with the best of the best. And maybe that does go to show that this isn't a skin that should really be on this list, but I guess that's up for you guys to decide in the comments down below. And also, just as a heads up, there won't be any skins on this list that are like single tier unlockable skins like Master Key. The Prisoner was kind of like the cutoff, and even him, again, is a little bit debatable. But coming in at number 13, we actually have Carbide with 1,265 votes. Now, I wouldn't put Carbide in the bottom 3, but I think there's a very easy explanation as to why he did so poor. You gotta consider that people love Omega. I mean, in our ranking Battle Pass survey, Season 4 got ranked the highest, and obviously he is the forerunner, the top guy of that season. So if anyone is going to vote for a Season 4 skin, they're going to pick Omega over Carbide, and he really got kind of left in the dust. And I think that that is fair. I mean, really, they're just kind of copies of each other, and Omega is obviously just way better. So I might not put it exactly at 13, but a fair placement. At number 12, we have Hybrid, and this seems to make sense to me. There's no nostalgia built up for this guy, and he really just isn't a standout skin. I think one way this could have easily been made better is if they just simply had better colors for him. You've got like black, dark purple, gross green, and then, I don't know, to me, he's just not a standout skin. He's not all that exciting to begin with, and again, the colors just don't really do anything for him. Okay, now at number 11, we've got the skin that I think should have been at the bottom of this list, and this is Zenith. With Hybrid getting 1,271 votes, Zenith just topped him out with 308. And it's interesting that these skins did so closely, as they are both the progressive skin that is not the tier 1 forerunner. And they're both not very great skins. Zenith was never a skin that I really ever wore, because you just had Lynx and the Ice King, who were so much more prominent and just such better skins. I really never liked Zenith, and while I'm glad to see that he didn't get a super high ranking, I certainly would have put him a lot lower. Now, coming in and topping off our number 10 spot with 1,480 votes, this is the Ice King. Honestly, rip my mans. Like, damn, I wasn't expecting this at all. I know the Ice King isn't the most loved progressive skin, but he is the second lowest tier 100 progressive on this list, just behind Lux. And yet I do actually kind of agree with this pick. I don't really think he's deserving of a super high spot, but I've never been able to kind of pinpoint exactly why I think that. In my opinion, his female counterpart, the Ice Queen, is a way better looking skin, but I think what it comes down to for the Ice King is his clunkiness. He looks huge and bulky, and while hitboxes don't change in Fortnite, it still feels gross to use. And as I'm saying this, I'm actually realizing that Roman, our editor, uses that skin all the time, so I'm probably about to be deleted.
Why you bully me?
Alright, moving on to number 9. This is going to be Dyer with 1,540 votes. Now, really? Dyer is better than the Ice King? I don't know about that. I mean, Carbide certainly deserves to be higher than this guy, but at least that voting process makes sense. I don't like Dyer, and I gotta say, I think he is probably one of my lowest ranked progressive skins in Fortnite. I would probably put him at like 12 or 11, but I'm obviously not the one making this list. He's not a bad skin, but he's just not a great skin. Now we finally made it to a Season 9 skin, and coming in at number 8 with 1,580 votes, we have Vendetta. So first and foremost, I am really glad that Vendetta got ranked lower than Rox. Rox is just clearly the better skin. I said this before, but she's kind of like a mix of Tracer and Samus from Metroid. And I'm all for it. And Vendetta himself, I would actually say, is placed right where he deserves, in the dead middle. He's not a great skin, and he's not a bad skin. But when you are competing against the best of the best, top tier and most memorable skins of this game, obviously he's not gonna rank super high. Alright, so coming in at number 7, this is going to be Blackheart. Blackheart got 1,714 votes. And again, this really comes out time after time, and it's why I like doing these videos. I think this is another perfect pick. I don't think that the Ice King Dyer or Vendetta are better than the skin, but what's ahead of it, I think, I just think it's a perfect placement. I would say Blackheart is the first progressive skin on this list where we're starting to get into the good stuff. Blackheart is really the true tier 100 skin of Season 7, and although he was obviously at the tier 1, he was still a good looking skin. He had so many different options, giving him a ton of customizability, and as you may have seen in the video we did looking at skin combinations, he paired so well with so many different things. A great skin, but again, when you're in the world of amazing progressive Fortnite skins, at the very top of the tier, he's only going to come in at 7. Now coming in at number 6 with 2,081 votes, we have the Season 9 Tier 1 skin, Rox. Rox? Rox. She's a great skin. I would say that Rox is definitely going to be the mascot of Season 9. She's clean, cool, and more importantly, I would say is what she is memorable. And that's something that I don't think we've seen with a lot of the previous seasons. Even though Blackheart was a nice skin, I wouldn't call him memorable. I would call Peely memorable, but certainly not anything else from Season 9, or 8, sorry. But with Season 9, that is to say, really I think this is one of the only skins that has a chance of being memorable. I think there's a lot of skins that look kind of similar to Vendetta, the number one being is the Visitor, but Rox has enough uniqueness to maybe make it out. So I really like Rox, and overall I'm just glad to see her coming out on top over Vendetta. Okay, now we're in the big leagues. Coming in at number 5 with 3,581 votes, a bit of a jump, we have my girl, Calamity. I'm gonna be honest, you guys did me a little bit dirty on this one. See, I want to say you did me dirty, but then it's like these next 4 skins are also just so good, it's completely understandable. Anyways, I'm a big fan of Calamity, but even myself is like, but I still might put her in at number 5. Calamity is one of the best progressive skins in Fortnite and is really the only good skin of Season 6. If you want to talk memorable, you gotta talk Calamity. A super clean skin that you can rock the tier 1 of and it looks great, or you can go all the way to the end with the different colors and that again looks great. And not to mention, her colors match perfectly with the ghost portal and it just looks really freaking cool. Now, moving on to our number 4 spot with 3,649 votes, we have Ragnarok. So, Ragnarok is going to be placed above Drift, and this is pretty consistent with everything the community has said since the release of these two guys. While Ragnarok was not the first ever progressive tier 100 skin, I think this guy, and along with Drift, really set the precedent of what a battle pass is all about. Ragnarok starts as this kind of weird, like not crazily good looking skin and slowly progresses into this amazing oceanic god of death type thing. I don't really know what you call Ragnarok, but he's awesome. Glows, he's got amazing color palettes, and again, he really truly is one of the most memorable skins in Fortnite. Now we're about to take another huge jump on the vote train, and very appropriately, coming in at number 3, we have the counterpart to Ragnarok, Drift. I think personally I would put Ragnarok over Drift, but I would still keep them back to back, and I respect this decision on your guys' behalf. Drift got 4,834 votes. He is a great skin, and again, as I said, I mean, you have Ragnarok and Drift who really, again, I just think established what the Battle Pass is all about. And honestly, since Season 5, I don't think we've seen a Battle Pass that beats it. Drift is truly one of the most iconic skins of Fortnite, and I think if they release this guy today, it would still be very popular. Although I do prefer Ragnarok, I think that to the general community, that is the big differentiator between these two skins. To me, I mean, really, Ragnarok and Blackheart aren't that different of skins. They're kind of similar, I guess, and they're just, again, like kind of in that same tier. I think if you released Ragnarok today as tier 100, he wouldn't be quite as loved as he was back in the day. But the big difference with Drift is he absolutely would, and you could literally drop him into Season 9 as the tier 100 skin, and he would probably be more loved than Vendetta. No, I would actually say absolutely would be loved more than Vendetta. Anyways, moving on to our number 2 spot with 4,953 votes, just topping our man off, we have Lynx. Again, I would say another near perfect choice. Personally, I would put Lynx at number 1, but I absolutely have to respect the choice. I think the only reason why Lynx doesn't come in at number 1 on this list I think the only reason that Lynx doesn't come in at number 1 on this list is because of nostalgia. And if not number 1, she would at least be near close to topping that number 1 spot. But let's talk about Lynx. Lynx is everything that's good about a progressive skin in one skin. You start out with something that's kind of weird and not really all that great, and it transforms into something amazing. Now, if Lynx did have a better stage 1, I think she would be a little bit more loved, but that's still okay. She's got red, blue, and black variants, which all look amazing and could all be the final stage of her. And it's all just wrapped up in one of the cleanest skins in Fortnite. Absolutely well-deserving of the number 2 spot. And a last note I do want to say about Lynx is, think about how well she would have fit into Season 4. If they had a booted Carbide and put her in as the tier 1 skin, first off, it would make sense because she's kind of in like a superhero type suit, and 2, it would just be such a cool contrast to Omega. But anyways, moving on to our number 1 spot with 6,890 votes, we have the man himself, and that is who I just said, Omega. Omega is absolutely deserving of the number 1 spot. He's the tier 100 skin. I don't think there's ever been a tier 100 skin that has fit that theme so well as him. Maybe the Reaper or the Black Knight, but those aren't progressive skins. Omega's stage 1 is amazing. That alone is just a great looking skin, especially with the customizability. His next few stages aren't very good until you get to his 55 variant, which is great. And then if you were a legend and actually managed to get to level 80, again, you have those colors that go onto his final form. He's the big baddie, he looks great, and has the progressiveness and customizability that makes for a great Battle Pass skin. And he is the number 1 spot. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this video. If you are new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe. And again, go get it in on that survey. I don't know what it is yet, but it's always nice to have lots of votes on this to really solidify the standings. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.